So I'm not sure. I found a solder blob underneath these resistors, bridging a couple things together. And that might have been some sort of signal conflict. Right now, I'm going through, I'm checking the voltage on each preamp tube, because this only happened when I put the preamp tubes in. I have the fuse bypassed with a multimeter, so I'm tracking how much current draw. We're at 70 some milliamps now. I took an old used tube, an old worn out tube, one by one, put it in each socket, tested the voltages on the anodes. So far, nothing's acted up. Now I'm one by one putting the tubes back into place. I got V1 and V2 in, about to do V3. Now we're up to 80 milliamps. Voltages seem okay on this tube. Next up, I did hear a sparky noise. There's a possibility that even if we might go through this and everything tests fine, but I've already fried a component. I don't see anything blown though. You can directly short a capacitor and nothing's gonna happen to it. It's these resistors. These resistors all look golden. Next one, 379, 379, 309. That one looks good. Last tube. I heard something. And it pulled 140 milliamps. There's like a chirping. Voltages on the phase inverter seem correct. Okay. Remember what I told you about phasing of the power transformer? Oh, don't tell me my power transformer's out of phase. Aw, that would be assish. Ah, that noise changed when I adjusted the depth knob. Oh boy, not a phasing issue. Okay, well, it's kind of an easy fix, but not really. Oof. The easiest way to fix it is to reverse the resistors going to the tubes, because the transformer lines are buried in there, right? But everything else is the same. The screen grid supply, the heater supply, the cathodes. It would just be a case of changing those signals over. Okay, I've reversed the phase of the tubes by simply crossing these over, and a little bit of faux pas. But again, the manual didn't tell you what phase is what. I'm repurposing a transformer that I probably should have paid more attention when I pulled it out of the unit I took it out of. No strange noises now. Transformer phasing, a combination of transformer phasing and a solder glob stuck under these takata bra. I knew it was going to be something real stupid, and I kind of saw coming that I was going to have phasing issues with the transformer. You got to pay attention to your data sheets. When you're repurposing transformers, you have that wild card that you have to be prepared for, but generally your data sheets will tell you. So this little crisscross, I'm probably gonna leave it like that. It's cute and it's an easy fix. If those were going into a sensitive preamp stage, I would say that's a no-no. But since it's driving an active signal out of a preamp stage into the power tubes, we should be okay. So now let's hook an actual real speaker load up to this thing. I haven't got a mic on it, so see if there's any strange noises. Silence. No sound whatsoever out of the speaker, but there's no signal. The volumes are all turned down. Now let's double check our bias. 34 on this side, 32 on this side. We can bring it up a bit. She's biased. Now if we start turning up knobs, I think it's on the clean channel right now. No, it's on overdrive. I'm hearing something when I turn up overdrive. Let's bring up overdrive gain. Let us plug in a guitar. Watch, there's no signal because I freaking fried something. Very weak signal out of overdrive. Go figure. All right. It's stable now, but our signal level is very low. So now I have to go back to the drawing board and track that issue down. Yeah, fun. It's gonna be a long day. Stupid mistake number 2. I completely put these resistors on wrong. It's supposed to be resistor there to there, jumper to there. Yeah, that might explain some of what's going on. Oh, I think I got it running, buds. Okay, we got signal now. While I'm in here, I forgot to put the bright cap on the whatchamacallit. That's because it wasn't included, it was missing. That's an easy fix, fortunately. Now there are some mods that do not include the bright cap, and it's a what? A 001, a 1NF. It's a 001. Got these NTE dealies that have been around a long time. That should do it. All right, let's plug a guitar into it, see how it sounds. Not to jinx myself. Knock on wood. Grandfather made this workbench out of real wood. What are the chances there's other dumb mistakes in here that are going to affect its tone? Clean's good so far. Crunch. But I know what you're thinking. Yes, Mr. Relevant, that's all fine and good. But you know we're here for the good, high gain shreddies. Oh, she's pretty quiet. The one significant problem we're running into is that the cab that I have under the desk there for just like testing on things, it sounds like arse. Sounds bad. So bad. We got a normal hiss. Moving this wire over close to, that makes no difference. We can hear that. And those things, they vibrate. So we're gonna have to go through and secure these guys down with glue. Now that we know everything's working, we need to test on her a little bit more thoroughly and then batten down those hatches. Amp's like, stop doing that. Why you do that to me? Because it's fun, bud. Because it's fun. Okay, gonna put you in a state of full cool down. Ooh. Alright, so now I'm doing some general consumption tests. Where'd my pick go? Even though you can't hear it, the amp's on right now. I've got it plugged into a very artificial dummy load. It's just an 8 ohm resistor, 8 ohm power resistor. So it's not quite going to be responding the way we want it to, but I'm just trying to ascertain a couple things. One of which is how much current is it going to pull? We got 100 milliamps. We got it hooked up to the HT fuse right now. HT fuse bypassed. The volume's up. You can see this tube's whacking over 150. But we're not really testing wattage output. I'm trying to track how much current we're going to get on the HT fuse. Volume's cranked right now. We're under 500 milliamps, which is what I would expect out of a 50 watt spec amp. We're cranking the clean channel. This hazards me to guess that I could go with a 500 milliamp fuse. Now this amp, it says do not use slow blow, but everybody else in the world uses slow blow. A 500 milliamp slow blow should be perfect for this. I'm going to have to order more of them. Actually, I don't even know if this is a slow blow. Looks like a slow blow. Next up, I want to test the dissipation of the screen grids. They're not getting hot, so that's a good sign. It says we have 6 volts of drop. As we turn it up, we get up to 45 volts of drop. Idle, 6 volts, 5 volts. So we got 5 volts, or we'll say 6 volts divided by 1,000 ohms. That's 6 milliamps the screen grids are consuming. Okay, that's within spec. And then 6 milliamps times 6 volts is, yeah, that's nothing. So I have 45 volts divided by 1,000 ohms. That's 45 milliamps. Sounds like a lot for the screens to be dissipating, but then multiply that by 45 volts. 2 watts. Apparently these guys are going to dissipate 2 watts. Our idle keeps returning to 43. All right, so that said, we're gonna see what our working voltage is here. 502 volts, and that's from the Hammond BZ, eh? Hammonds are, I don't know what to say about them, man. Oh boy, 470 by 120. That's 56 watts of dissipation. 60 watts? What? This amp's a powerhouse. This makes me suspect foul play. Now let's put an 8 ohm load on a 4 ohm tap. See if that tames things. 485 by 80. 40 watts. Okay, maybe this old Hammond can just bang off some milliamps. Now actually this is on our main HT. What do we get if we attach it to one of the... Yeah, we got 500 volts on that too. I almost feel like we're gonna have to make an adjustment to the power supply here, because it's one thing to feed the power tubes 500 volts, but that preamp might be getting too much voltage. And like, if we look at our annotated schematic here, 495, we're 5 volts off spec, so that's okay. We're expecting 495 returning from the choke, which is right here. 493, oh, look at that! Well, that Hammond transformer, 493, 2 volts off what we're calling supposed to be returning from the choke. So after 10K 3 watt voltage drop, we're expecting about 378 volts. So that would be right on this side of the resistor. 384, little high. And I see a brown band forming across that resistor. Oh, she is hot. Is that even a 3K or 3 watt? You know what I just noticed? That doesn't look like a metal oxide to me. All right, well, what about these guys here? They're not getting hot. Why the heck is this guy getting so hot? It's showing heat fatigue. Let's do the math. What is the voltage drop across this resistor? 109 volts, according to our mathematics, divided by 10,000 ohms is 10.6 milliamps. That's on target. According to my math, just reverse engineering this schematic, and also based on what I've measured off the jet, it's about 11 to 12 milliamps the preamp's gonna consume. So our number here is on target, but that multiplied by 109 volts is 1.15 watts dissipation. So unless, you know, those could be, if they're cheap metal film resistors, those could be 2 watts. Not that metal film resistors are cheap, but the point is those could be 2 watts and not 3 watts. I almost feel I should upgrade that guy. So what voltages are we getting down here on our preamp? Can I ascertain which one's which? Well, this top one's R50, R58. Let's see, where's R58 here? Surely this guy knew what he was doing well enough to get the right wattages. 364, oh, I didn't even notice we have it all written out here on this schematic. Okay, that's good. So R58 should be 364 unless it's 384, in which case I'm looking at the wrong side of it. So let's tack on here, 356, 381, 381, 364, and 356. R85, 356. What's our spec across R85? 364. That one should be 358. Are these backwards? 350, 355, 364. R85. I'm thinking something's mislabeled here, because I'm getting the correct numbers, just not on the ones that they're supposed to be. Yeah, 355 is consistent with what I should get on R57. And that's not R57. Let's look a bit deeper. So the 358B connects to R19 and R11. Yep, there's just something. I'm getting the correct voltages. They're even nice enough on this schematic to tell us the various cathode or anode voltages on each tube. So our main input V right here, pin 6 says 185. What's our meter say? 185, look at that. What's this one say? 262, it's asking for 257 on there, close enough. What about this one? 350 on pin 6. Schematic says 353. V2 pin 1, 261. Oh, it's asking for 250. Now, there's gonna be variations like that. Tolerances, what have you. That's within spec. Let's check out the phase inverter. Phase inverter, 248 and 247. 260 and 248. So one's supposed to be, the 100K side is this side, I think. That's supposed to be 248, 247, that's good. And this one's supposed to be 260. That's the 82K side. Again, close enough. Not too worried about it. What do we do now? I was supposed to fix some wires over here. We'll do that after. I got to do finishing touches on this. Once I know, I'm probably going to meet up with Buddy, get him to test out the amp, and then once we knew it's good, I'm going to go through and start doing gluing. I'm actually going to be ordering some parts. Probably replacing these 1 ohm resistors on the DC with 820 milliohm, going down to 0.82 of an ohm, so that we could get our DC just over 6. I don't like how low the DC voltage is sitting right now. Can't see the meter, but it's showing 5.77. That is just a slight over spec. Now, one thing that I'm noticing is we got too much bleed from one channel to another. So I flick to the clean channel, and even if I take and turn the gain knob on the clean channel all the way down, if I turn up volume on it, here, take a look at what I mean. These functions are doing nothing. But if I turn down the gain on the OD channel, now, why we're getting so much bleed on the clean channel, I don't know. There are some inherent flaws in the Soldano circuit that allows for that, and supposedly the Mark II adds another LDR. That mutes out the clean channel so it doesn't interfere with the dirty channel. LDR2 should be cutting signal right now. That's right here. It's represented as a switch in this online schematic. Also, LDR1 right here looks like it should be muting out the circuit. So we need to do some impedance testing. Whoa! Okay. So the LDR should still work with the amp in standby. And if we go test it on our ohms here, LDR1, which is this one up here, should be muting out. Yeah, that's 0.27, 272 ohms. That's not quite enough. That's the problem with LDRs, right? They have that kind of flaw going for them. And then LDR2 should be open. That's this one here. This one should be preventing signal travel. Okay, but how much impedance is it actually letting get through? 44 meg? Oof. This is what I was worried about. So this is all signal bleed right now. You see that? That LDR is only attenuating, it's not blocking, but this should be muting out. Now, it could be partly he's using, those look like the Chinese LDRs, the ones that you order on eBay. And they don't have specifications on them. We can't even be sure they're the right kind. There's also the aspect of how's our calibration. It did say use 5 ohm or no resistor, and I chose to use a 6 ohm on the switching circuit. Will that more calibration work better for us? Yeah, a little bit. Maybe that's a catch. It's like it's making it hard to dial in a clean tone. So the volume reference. Let's try bypassing that again. Because it seems like the idea is the clean channel is just going to overcome the dirty channel with those switching in place. Yeah, that sounds normal now. Now I think those LDRs have a maximum power handling of like 40 milliamps. So even though target's 20, that's the question. If I bypass that resistor, how long are these LDRs gonna last? Maybe let them blow so we can upgrade them with something better. All right, if we look at the schematic, R65 should be active right now, or is it R13? It's hard to tell for me how this works. Trying to figure out where I can tap on to this circuit here to determine how much power is consuming, because these two here, I do believe are active when the foot switch is off. Okay, well screw it. Turn the foot switch off. Now we'll go find that 33 ohm resistor right there. R65, it's this guy right here. Let's measure the voltage drop across it. 1.23 volt drop across there. 1.23 volt drop, divide that by 33 ohms, right? 37 milliamps. Okay, 37 milliamps for 2 LDRs. That's fine. That's perfectly fine, bud. R64 is 2 volts divided by 33 ohms. 60 milliamps for 3 LDRs theoretically. Not bad. Not bad at all. I feel like it could use a little bit different voicing. I'm gonna try it with different tubes, but we need to correct this here. And I think I'm gonna top down these heater wires over here. So that 6 ohms coming out, that was a waste of money, especially since it's been cut so short for that. Oh well. All right, another ill-fated component here. Didn't really get to serve a purpose in life. I guess maybe it's long enough I can do something with it, but what do you need a 6 ohm for usually? It's a bit oddball. All right, so what can we put there? A fuse? That would make sense. Except let's face it, you'd want to put that before the bridge rectifier. Effectively, the bridge rectifier itself is a fuse. Did you know they make 0 ohm resistors? Yeah, they're jumpers, just glorified jumpers. They're all over the Jet City. The Jet City's got a whack of them. I ordered some for Apes and Arshids when I saw one of my suppliers I go to had them in stock. One of my eBay suppliers. But, you know, it's gonna do the trick. Can at least make it look official, like there is something there. Ugh, don't slip and burn the wires, bud. That should work now. Where's that 39K? R14, R13, R14. Right there. 39K. See, I find the 39K on the cold clippers it's a bit high.